Yeah, what's going on, y'all? On the Ball Spreads Prediction Show, here to talk about MLB and today's best bets. All I ever ask is if you find today's show useful, just to make sure to drop a like, put your MLB comments in the comment section. I'm curious to know who you have. And then lastly, guys, make sure to drop that like and subscribe. All right, let's get into today's slate. We've got some big action cooking already on the premium side of things for today. Wimbledon, we need a first set winner, and we cash a plus 4,000 parlay. We also have FIFA locked and loaded, but we're here to talk baseball. My premium plays will drop in the next hour on that. So if you want those premium plays are on the winnable link in the descriptions tab. Use code WORD EDGE and save today. All right, guys, let's get into this show, man. It's been a good week. We cashed a home run parlay yesterday. Junior Caminero and Jock Pederson. We also called a live one with Miguel Vargas and Junior Caminero yesterday. So absolutely smacking the books on home runs. We got those reads right here off of BlowOutAlert, which is in the descriptions tab. So let's get to it. Let's get into the slate. First up, we have the Chicago White Sox going into Camden to take on the Baltimore Orioles. We got Sean Burke, who has had two really good games in a row, only giving up one earned run in his last two starts. He had those little hiccup games on the 13th and the 6th, but outside of that, he's been really solid mostly over the last 6 weeks. I think we see more of the same out of Sean Burke. I think the offense with this Chicago White Sox team has been sharp. You know, they do have the run differential, the better started quality pitcher in my opinion. And honestly, Sean Burke's played better on the road, sub 4 ERA on the road. I'm going to go with the Chicago White Sox here today on the money line. Let's just go up here and make sure our watch list is clear so we can add these games to the watch list, guys. And boom, plus 114, Chicago White Sox. That's the lean, that's the read. I trust the bullpen more, I trust the bats more, and I trust Sean Burke more. Shane Baz hasn't been as sharp. Gave up 5 earned runs in his last start, and before that, 2 and 3. So he hasn't been turning in the right direction. I know Orioles have the home field advantage, but Chicago White Sox have the edge in almost every statistical category over the Baltimore Orioles. All right, next one up, we have the Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Phillies. Got a set of righties in Nola and Ashcraft. Nola's been playing a lot better ball as of late. You know, he had those 3-6-4 outings. Then earlier in the season, 6-5-3. He had really struggled earlier in the season, kind of coming back to the pitcher that we know in Aaron Nola. Only 2 earned runs in his last 2 starts. Has been looking much better. But this is a spot where I think Braxton Ashcraft has been the best pitcher in the Pittsburgh Pirates lineup. You know, only 4 earned runs in total over his last 3 games. He did have that hiccup spot there against, I think it was Atlanta when he played the Braves back there in early June. But outside of that, man, Ashcraft has been more consistent than Paul Skeens. So with that said, I think that there's the better starting pitcher quality to this side. But the Phillies' bats have been really hot. You know, they've made a lot of late game comebacks. They've looked really good. I think this is going to be a tight game. I'm going to lean here. I'm going to fade the Phillies here today. I'm going to lean on Ashcraft, and I'm going to believe the bats get it done, even though the hotter bats have been on this side here with the Phillies over the last 2 weeks, really. And we've seen a lot of late comebacks from this Phillies team. But at the same time, we've also seen them let us down. You know, look, they lost to the Mets, and then they went 2-1 against the Mets, where they only won by 1 run, where they were heavily favored on the run line. So I'm going to go here with the Pirates here today at minus 108. I was able to grab it at minus 102 earlier on a straight play. But yeah, that's where I'm at on this one, guys. I think Ashcraft and the better bullpen here is with Pittsburgh. So, well, honestly, let's back up here. I think Philly and Pittsburgh Pirates have about an equal bullpen. I think the bats are a little bit hotter right now with Philly, but I do think the better starting pitchers with Ashcraft. You give the first 5 innings a look, or you can give that Pittsburgh money line full game a look. But Philly has made some late game comebacks, but I want to be on the value side of things here with Pittsburgh today. And just take a quick look. It's a 50-50 game here on Blowout Alert with the engine points. So that would tell us that, you know, smarter play is to take whatever's going to pay you the most, and that's going to be the minus 108. All right, guys, Rangers taking on the Guardians here. This feels like a lopsided matchup, but I'm going to explain why it's not and why it may be closer than we think. I do give the edge to Parker Messick clearly. Only 4 earned runs in his last 2 starts. He's looked good all year long. He's got great strikeout stuff. We do know that. He is a lefty. But look, the Rangers have actually hit lefties really well. They've been some of the hotter bats in the MLB over the last 2 weeks. But look, they do have Tyler Alexander on the mound. He's a rotational pitcher. He hasn't pitched more than 2 innings all season long in any game. He hasn't got any starts. First start here, but he hasn't got deep into ball games. Let's see how that goes. If they go to the bullpen early, they go to the bullpen in the 2nd inning, 3rd inning, that could open things up for a good offense in Cleveland. Better starting pitcher edge there. There has been sharp money that flowed in on Cleveland. The line moved. Our software flagged that. I would just say, if I'm going to bet this game, I want my money on the Cleveland Guardians. I don't want to mess with the bullpen being open to big hits and long innings when the Rangers don't really have a true ace or true starting pitcher on the mound. I think there's a clear advantage right there. The edge goes to the offense with the Guardians going up against probably the bullpen in the third, fifth, sixth innings. So go ahead and give me the Guardians here on the money line at -142. And if you wanted to avoid the Cleveland Guardians bullpen, which hasn't been that hot as of late, I would go ahead and take a look at those first 5 innings as well. All right, guys, Detroit taking on the Yankees. This one's an edgy one, right? Because you got the Yankees coming off of a tough loss there on Sunday Night Baseball. They got swept by the Red Sox in Fenway. And that it's just a tough game to call, because you would think this is a great spot, great get-right spot for the Yankees. But what we've seen out of the Yankees is not good, consistent hitting once again. But I believe in Ryan Weathers. Casey Mize has also looked really good in a lot of his starts majority of the season. These last 2 games has been rough for him, 3-4 on the earned run side of things. But before that, he kept it under 2 almost every single start the whole season. I am going to give the home field advantage a spot here. Yankees going back to home field. I think they can get right. I believe that Ryan Weathers plays better in Yankee Stadium. And Casey Mize has played his better ball in Comerica Park. So I believe the Yankees can get after the Detroit Tigers today. Give me the Yankees here on the money line, and we'll keep it moving. Next one up, Sean Manaea taking on Trey Savage. Trey Savage, I know his ERA says one thing, but if you look under the hood, it's another. In his last 5 starts, he has given up 1, 7, 12, 15, 16 earned runs in 5 starts. He's not doing too hot. He is keeping the hits low, but those hits are resulting in home runs, which is guaranteed runs. I think that the bats in this lineup with Bichette, Juan Soto, Vientos, Benjay, any of those guys, even Melendez, they all have good power. If you're giving up sharp contact, it's only a matter of time the Mets take a yard. I know this is an awful Mets team, but I don't want to be on the side here with the Toronto Blue Jays today. They've been a little inconsistent for me. I'm going to go with the Mets here on the money line, guys. And we'll keep it moving in this next one, where Blowout Alert does have a read with 11 engine points on the Boston Red Sox, where you're going to have Mikolo taking on Suarez. Suarez has looked really solid in his overall start all month of June. He's played some of his best baseball. He's the clear edge here over Mikolos. Miles Mikolos has had decent starts at times. Look, 0 earned runs, 0 earned runs, 0 earned runs. When he plays well, he plays well. And the concern for me going on the Red Sox side of things, and just to side with caution here, even though Red Sox are getting 11 engine points from Blowout Alert, side with caution. It's Ranger Suarez versus Miles Mikolos, who you don't know what you're going to get. You're going to get a guy who gives you 0 earned runs against a lineup that hasn't really hit the ball well all season, but they've kind of come to life over the last 2 weeks. I'm going to just continue to ride with the team that's come to life, Ranger Suarez being the better pitcher. And if Miles Mikolos happens to beat us today on this read, he happens to beat us today on this read. I think the clear read here is the better bats over the last 2 weeks have been the Boston Red Sox. The better pitcher on the mound today with a sub-3 ERA is Ranger Suarez. He's been playing really good ball over his last 5 starts, really all month of June. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go with the Red Sox on the money line here today at -175. It's not a sexy play, but that's where Blowout Alert is going, and I do agree. All right, guys, next one up, Cincinnati Reds taking on the Brewers. I think this is a spot to look at the Brewers here on the run line. Lodolo is on the mound. Nick Lodolo hasn't looked that great this season. He did just come off of a decent showing with 0 earned runs given up over 4 innings. But just before that against the Mets, who we know have struggled all season long, he gave up 11 hits and 7 earned runs. This is a good Brewers team that can get after the Reds pitching, the Reds bullpen. The Reds bullpen is still a big question mark in this lineup. So, look, Gasser has played good baseball. I know at times his ERA doesn't say so, but he's going in the other direction with his ERA. Ever since really mid-May, he's been bringing his ERA down. He's only had 1 game that matched his ERA, and that was against the A's in that Little League stadium. I'm going to have to go with the Brewers here on the run line today to find a way to get this thing done. I want the Brewers on the run line for the value. I think that they are the superior team, and they're not scared to play small ball either. So go ahead and give me the Brewers here. They do have the clear run differential by about 1 run over this Reds team. I think that that's enough to cover the run line today, and let's keep it moving. San Diego taking on the Cubs. I think today the play here is going to be the over, guys. Give us the over 11 runs. Wind's blowing out at Wrigley. Wrigley has short left and right field. We know that this is a gettable a lineup that can hit the ball when they're on. Emenyaga hasn't brought his best stuff this season. I know it says that he is a strikeout type pitcher, but if you look at his strikeout stuff, he hasn't had it. The Chicago White Sox run differential has been through the roof in the month of June. They've been really hitting the ball well, driving in runs. They're at home. I think that if I was going to pick a side, I would lean the Chicago Cubs here today at home on the money line. But I'm going to go with the over total at over 11.5 runs. I think the books are reacting. This is an over. The books are protecting themselves. Wrigley doesn't normally have an over at 11, but they have it set there today, and that's because they believe that whether it's Bradley Rodriguez or Griffin Canning on the mound for the Padres and Shohei Emenyaga, both these guys have been giving up enough runs in the early innings. I think that they think that this thing by the fifth inning, the first 5 could be like a 3-4 game, and that's going to bring that 11 right into play. So, guys, yeah, give me the over 11 and give me the Chicago Cubs on the money line, and we'll keep this thing moving into the next game. All right, let's go ahead and click that money line play there as well. Twins taking on the Astros. This is a 50-50 game. You've got Minnesota Twins and the Astros. I believe it's let me just pull this up. I don't believe that the starting pitchers are 100% correct on this one from when I was looking at the plays last night and going over everything. So I just want to check it on my phone here for you guys on MLB.com before I dive into this one. Yeah, it's Zebby Matthews and Lambert. And I like what I've seen out of Lambert. Zebby Matthews as well. Both have been solid this season. 4.5 ERA versus a 3.6. But the bats for the Astros, they just jump out at me. And I know the bats have been working really well for the Twins. So to me, this is a coin flip game. I believe that the read is correct here at a 50-50 game. And something that I always say when you're on a 50-50 game is you kind of got to go with the value. I don't believe there's a clear edge in this one. So give me the Twins at plus 118. Give me the value play here. I think that the bats can stay alive. They can get after Lambert. The Astros have shown us at times they do struggle. They almost got beat by Detroit when they had the clear edge against Detroit just yesterday. So, if it's not for the home run balls, this team may take a L. We'll see what happens. If they can generate some home run balls and get after Zebby Matthews, then that changes the narrative here. But I believe that the bats can drive in some runs here for the Twins. They can get a win. Give me the value play at plus 118. All right, guys, next one up, we have the Miami Marlins taking on the Colorado Rockies, where the Colorado Rockies have been one of the better home teams in the month of June. They have really played well, but the Marlins have a clear edge on the run differential. The bats are alive. They're hitting it really well. Alcantara, though, has not played well in Coors Field. His ERA on the season's a 4, but at Coors Field it is a 6. Agnos, I'm not a big fan of backing a guy like Agnos here, who hasn't really got a lot of action. Last time we saw him, they started, Agnos and brought in Sugano in like a second or third inning, and it was a win for the Rockies. I think we could see something like that. Not saying Sugano's going to be the guy to go today, but he has kept his earned runs low over his last 3 starts, 0, 2, and 3 against Minnesota. But Minnesota's been, like we just said, hitting the ball really well. I think here in this spot, I would want to kind of lean. I know sharp money flowed in on the Marlins there at minus 144, but I want to be on the side here with the Colorado Rockies. You can get this plus 1.5 at minus 120. I want to go ahead and have that 1.5 in my pocket with the Colorado Rockies today, who have been hitting the ball really, really well. Alcantara, who's given up a lot of earned runs in Coors Field, and they're one of the top teams against righties in the month of June. So give me the Rockies here at plus 1.5, and we'll keep it moving with the Los Angeles Angels and Seattle Mariners, where you got Ryan Johnston on the mound taking on George Kirby. Interesting matchup here. Ryan Johnston, let's dive in, take a look at what he's done so far in his last couple outings. He had that start there against Oakland where he gave up 5 earned runs. I don't think the edge is to the pitching on this side. I think George Kirby has been solid. He's got decent strikeout stuff. There has been times where he's given up earned runs. He does give up a ton of hits. I think this will be a higher scoring game as far as generating runs, just because there's 2 pitchers on the mound that aren't that sharp at keeping the hits off the board. They're not that sharp at keeping their ERA down. I think I lean the over 7.5 here, and I would give a look to the minus 1.5 on the Seattle Mariners. All right, but I lean more to the over 7.5 on the play for this Los Angeles and Seattle game. All right, guys, Dodgers taking on the A's. Another great game. I don't believe it's Jacob Lopez on the mound today. I believe it's going to be what's his name, Jason Jump or something like that. He's been solid this season. Sub 3 ERA. Eric Lauer has been getting peppered. This is not a team you want to go up against in the Athletics, where you're struggling with your earned runs and giving up a lot of hits. I know his last start, 0 earned runs, 0 hits through 6 innings. Great quality start. But I don't think Lauer's going to bounce back and have another game just like that. I want to be on the side here with the Oakland Athletics. I know the Dodgers are a favorite play, but look, Blowout Alert is also agreeing. 14 engine points over here to the A's. I do agree. I think that the Oakland A's playing in Sacramento have a clear home field advantage. They have the better bats, a better pitcher, a decent enough pitcher. We could call the pitchers a wash today. They have hit lefties really well in this lineup. We know that Nick Kurtz is a lefty, can get after lefty on a lefty-lefty matchup. Soderstrom, Heim, Langeliers. They got a lot of big bats in this lineup. I trust the A's to be able to keep this thing close, and I want to be on that side with the value at -105 against a pitcher who hasn't played his best baseball this season with the Dodgers and Eric Lauer. So go ahead and give me the A's here on the money line. All right, last game of the night, you got the San Francisco Giants taking on the Diamondbacks, where you've got Tyler Mahle taking on Eduardo Rodriguez, who's had some regression stuff going on, but for the most part has kept it low. He's not a strikeout guy. He's a ground ball, fly ball dependent guy, but he's been generating a ton of that. The thing is, the Diamondbacks have been one of the worst offenses in the month of June, right along with the Braves. Tyler Mahle has been trending in a better direction than what he had been in the month of May. Here in June, in his start, he had only 2 hits given up, 0 earned runs in his 5.5 inning start. Last time he played the Arizona Diamondbacks on the 26th of May, he went 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs. That was because I believe a big shot by Ketel Marte on a home run ball. But look, the Giants are one of the hotter offenses in the month of May. They've hit lefties really well. I think I want to be on the Giants side of things here. It's hard to shout them out, but I'll take the value play here on the Giants. The Arizona Diamondbacks just haven't really generated much offense outside of Ketel Marte and Corbin Carroll over the last 30 days. So I'm going to go with the San Francisco Giants here on the money line. And the edge here, this is our only disagreement on the day, guys, from OTB Mac here on the show, is Blowout Alert has the Arizona Diamondbacks there with a lot of engine points. Now let's jump in and take a look on why that is. So Mahle has played his better ball at home, in Oracle Park. The starting pitcher in Eduardo Rodriguez, he plays substantially better at home in Phoenix. The run differential, we knew that. The bats have been hot for the Giants. They have been playing really well, and the trend we've seen this week is the teams with the better run differential have been winning ball games. So if you're going to give an edge to anything, it would be Eduardo Rodriguez at home in Phoenix. Home field advantage for the Diamondbacks, where they do play better and they do hit the ball better. The run differential for me is what jumps out. The Giants, who have hit lefties, one of the top 10 teams in the month of June hitting lefties. I want to be on that side. Their bats are alive. Sometimes that's my take, right? Sometimes if you watch my show enough, you hear me say, don't fade the hot bats. We're going to ride with the hot bats right now. Miami Marlins have printed us a lot of money over the last 60 days because normally when we're on the Miami Marlins side of things, it's because the bats have been hot. Today, though, like I just said, we're going to trust in a different process against those Miami Marlins with the Colorado Rockies putting a run and a half in our pocket against the hottest team in MLB right now when it comes to righty matchups, and that's what they're facing today. And Alcantara, who struggled with a 6 ERA at Coors Field. Give me the Giants here. Value, +119 on the money line. That's the show, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. If you want my premium plays, I do have them posted on Winnable. Just go to the descriptions tab in the Winnable link. Use code WORDEDGE. You can save the day. And once again, Onyx odds, spend 10, get 200. Use code WORD on the ball. That link is in the descriptions tab as well. All right, that's the show, guys. Let's take a look at the watch list and wrap up the show here. So here we got the watch list, guys. Let me expand this for you guys a little bit. Maybe get a little bit better of a view. All right. So we're going to take San Francisco money line +119 plus money. Oakland A's at -105 on the money line versus the Dodgers. We're going to take the Mariners laying a run line, and we'll take the over in that game, over 7.5 runs. I lean that more than a game line side, so give me the over 7.5 in the Mariners Angels. Colorado Rockies, we're going to take that +1.5, put it in our pocket at -120. A lot of value there to be needing to lose by more than 2 runs when Alcantara has really gotten peppered at Coors Field, and the Rockies are hitting the ball really well. Twins, not a favorite play on the board. This is more of a value play. It's a 50-50 matchup. Could go to either team. But if I'm going to play a side in a coin flip game, give me the one that pays more, +118. Chicago Cubs here today on the money line. I think that they do have a chance to win this thing outright against a team that has been inconsistent in the Padres. They kind of split in their last series when they played each other. Give me the Cubs, who've been better with the bats here as of late, and I believe they do have a little bit of an edge with the starting pitcher in Emiyaga, but obviously, clearly, the bullpen for the Padres is 20 times better. All right, and then also give a look at that over 11 runs in that game. I think the game does go over today on the total. It should be a higher scoring affair. Both of the pitchers are gettable. Then Milwaukee Brewers on the spread, taking on the Reds. I think they can get after Lodolo. They can get after him early and quick. So first 5 innings and the spread, lay the run line -1.5. Boston on the money line versus the Washington Nationals. It's a story about Miles Mikolas, guys, on this one. If Mikolas beats you on this game, he beats you on this game. -175, it's a lot of juice. I don't really love it. This is maybe something that I would parlay with another leg or something like that. Give yourself a little bit better of a value. But once again, Red Sox should win this game unless Miles Mikolas comes out and has one of those starts where he has 0 earned runs, or Miles Mikolas is going to come out and give up 5 earned runs. That's kind of been the story of his season. All right, last segment here. We got 5 games. Chicago White Sox going to get it going at around 640 today. We're going to go with them on the money line at +114, backed by Sean Burke, a better bullpen and hotter bats. Pittsburgh on the money line. Ashcraft is the edge, -108, better value. I think the bats are good enough to go toe-to-toe with the Phillies. Cleveland on the money line. Parker Messick, clear edge, better pitcher. Their bullpen's going to be active a lot earlier for the Rangers, so I think the Guardians can get after that bullpen, especially if they're coming in the 2nd or 3rd inning and they're getting involved in that game early. Give me the Cleveland Guardians offense and Parker Messick to keep the Rangers off the board for a little while and give his team some time to generate runs. Yankees on the money line, bounce back spot play, going back to Yankee Stadium. They got Ryan Weathers on the mound, who's been one of their better pitchers on the season. Give me the Yankees on the money line at -132. And then probably the most scariest and uncomfortable play on the board today, Sean Manaea and the Mets at +105 on the money line. Look, I think that Trey Savage has not been good this year. I think that the bats for the Mets are good enough to get after Savage. Give me the Mets here to get it done, even on the road here today, and get a win and grind this thing out. I think it'll be a lower scoring game, but give me the Mets on the money line. All right, guys, that's the show. If you guys haven't signed up for Blowout Alert yet, just look at what we've done with the suspects, man. It gives you a clear look. Corbin Carroll, give him a look on the watch list. That's not saying to take it, but if you go over here on this White Sox and Orioles game, it is giving you a lot of looks. It's telling you that, Kobe Mayo, he's going to get at least one strikeout today. So he's going to strike out. It's saying that Kyle Teal's going to strike out, Chase Meredith strikeout. You could build a strikeout parlay just on these guys, that all of these guys are going to get K'd at least one time. So it's saying that all these guys are averaging about 1 strikeout per game. I believe Bet365 offers those props. DraftKings offers those props. You could give Miguel Vargas a look for a hit. You could give Corbin Carroll a look for a hit. Over here on this side of things, what else do we got? Any strong looks? It's favoring a lot of guys to strike out, and that's a play that I haven't played a lot. Maybe I'll mess around with it today and just create like a little 6-leg strikeout parlay. It's an interesting look because a lot of times guys do strike out. They go 4 or 5 at bats and they're going to strike out. And instead of playing a guy like Parker Messick for 6 Ks, now you're just playing Ezekiel Tovar to get 1 strikeout. You need 1 plate appearance to end in a strikeout, and you get a green check there. I think that's kind of like the outlook on NBA when it comes to blocks and steals. You don't need a lot. You just need 1 or 2, and all it is 1 sequence. So all you need is 1 strikeout from Ezekiel Tovar on his plate appearance, and you're going to get a green check on your parlay. So I think I might mess around with these K strikeouts today, take a look at it, and yeah, that's it, guys. That's the show. I appreciate you tuning in. Make sure to drop a like and leave your MLB comments in the comment tab. See you next time. Book the one way.